One of the greatest selling points of crypto is the fact that the blockchain is transparent and anybody can follow it, and you can chase $1 from 2011 to the last dollar that it was spent in 2025. But what if you could use crypto and on-chain stuff without actually showing where stuff went? Like, what if I could send $10,000 from my wallet to someone else's wallet wherever without it actually being traceable, aka having on-chain private computations and transactions? Well, that might already be possible with what Arcium is doing. Today, let's talk about how you can use on-chain transactions in a private manner without them being traceable. So what I'm saying might not actually make sense to people that are on chain and do stuff on chain and, follow wallets and track wallets and all this other stuff, but it really is. Because what I'm talking about isn't necessarily groundbreaking. There's been so many different companies out there, from L2s to L1s to random blah blah blah, that have been trying to make a private blockchain. It just doesn't really exist in a well-made fashion on Solana. So what Arcium is doing is making one of its products a fully private way to send and receive money and even do DeFi on chain. And the best part about this is if there's like two different companies that need to utilize each other's data, but they want to keep it private, they're allowed to share two parts of data with each other and use them for whatever without actually accessing what it is. So let's say there's a company with healthcare information with patients and they don't want to dox my name and my blood type and all this other stuff. They can package this data with Arcium, put it on chain into components. They can then utilize this data on chain or even off chain without actually accessing my blood type and all the stuff that I'm allergic to. Which is pretty smart, because if there's all these concerns of privacy leaks and oh shit, my date of birth got leaked and blah blah blah, if this data was stored in a private way, then no one would actually know what it contains. It would just be, this is XYZ data on 1,000 patients. You can't even open the file, but you can use this file for stuff that we agreed on. And I think the most applicable thing about this isn't even healthcare, even though that's great. It's actually AI and DePIN stuff. It's like, let's say you have an AI agent that's trying to be trained on a lot of information that's sensitive. It could be healthcare, it could be, I don't know, bomb codes. Or, stuff that just doesn't want to be open in public. You could then use this information, train the AI with it, but the AI itself doesn't know the contents of it. It just knows the context and where to use it further in the future to become a better, more well-trained AI. Another pretty good use case of this is marketplaces. So if there's like an auction for a Punk 454 zombie skin that's worth $50 billion, you could, in a private way, have someone from somewhere in the world bid on this, and it's not traceable. Like, somebody won't be able to see, oh shit, 100 ETH from this wallet just bid on this. And I know what you're thinking, why? What is the point of having private transactions? Isn't the whole point of blockchain to be transparent and everyone should be able to see where this goes and where it's coming from? The thing that I always say, and I've said before and I'll say it again, is why not? Maybe this isn't something that should be used by you or by the US government, because that would suck. But there's definitely a lot of places this could be implemented where it is a net positive. And an example of that is let's say you're Camino, or let's say you're Drift, or some sort of DEX that does cool stuff, and you want to implement a privacy layer to your protocol. You can implement Arcium's tech stack. And now we're going to go through here actually what it looks like. As you can see here, there are places called dark pools where you're able to transact on-chain or off-chain with Solana that is not trackable. So again, if I send 50 billion, 10 million, whatever dollars from this wallet to that wallet, it won't show on SolScan, it won't show on SolFM or X-Ray or whatever. It'll only show from your wallet privately to the other wallet or DeFi protocol or wherever privately. They're doing something cool that has a use case, that will have a user base and a market fit. And again, there are many, many different places that you should be using this, whether it's AI or healthcare or other private security measures. And I think what they're doing is cool. And again, it's being done on Solana, so I'm a fan of it.